Good morning and welcome to our lesson today where I would want us to talk about discipline. Yeah, remember we said personal management skill is a unit that will help you as an individual to be able to manage yourself as a person. Yeah, the skills that you need to acquire that would enable you to perform your duties effectively. We mentioned about decision making, yeah, where you're supposed to have a certain knowledge about the type of decision that you need to make that will help you make those kind of decisions. We also mentioned about time management. How do you manage yourself in terms of time? Yeah, you need to organize your desk, you need to have a to-do list. Yeah, so we are also now going to talk about discipline. Discipline is a very important element, especially when it comes to employees. So it is important for you to understand what is discipline. So discipline basically refers to the internal force which prompts individuals and groups to observe organizational rules, regulation, and procedures that seemed necessary for the smooth running of the organization. So basically, discipline refers to the guidelines, yeah, or to certain procedures that occur in an organization that would make the employee to observe those rules. Yeah, for example, we have the rules like maybe you need to report to work at 8 o'clock. Okay, that is a rule. So in the event that you break that rule, yeah, is what now we call discipline. So employees need to be disciplined in an organization so that they are able to help the organization or the company they work for to be able to manage their time. I mean, to be able to manage or to achieve their objectives. For example, if you're supposed to come to work at around 8 o'clock and maybe you report by around 9:30, yeah, so what happens, that time difference of 1.5 hours, yeah, has got quite a huge implication especially to the company in terms of achieving their objectives, because what you're supposed to have done at that particular time, you're not able to do it. Okay, so discipline is very important in an organization, and we've got what we call the aims of discipline or disciplinary measures. What are some of the aims? Yeah, so why is it important to have discipline? One, we say discipline improves efficiency and improves the quality of production. How does it improve that? Because when you are, like for example, when you are at where you're supposed to be at the correct time, you're able to do what has been allocated to you, yeah, and therefore you are able to perform your duties effectively, and as a result of that, you help the organization in the smooth running. Okay, then we say discipline also develops the employee the spirit of tolerance, self-control, and the ability to adjust personal life to resonance, yeah, with group values. So when you are disciplined, it will help you as a person, not just as an employee, but as a person. Yeah, because now you're always conscious. Yeah, you're conscious about time. Yeah, because where you work, you have to adhere to certain guidelines. So discipline enables an individual or an employee to be able to have self-control, yeah, when it comes to certain aspects in an individual. We also say discipline provides the organization a sense of identity and direction, consistency with its economic, social, and moral objectives. Yeah, so when people are disciplined, yeah, you feel like you own that organization, you identify yourself with that organization. We also say discipline creates harmony necessary for the smooth running of the smooth functioning of the organization. So when we are disciplined, it enables the organization to run smoothly, because if you're supposed to be doing this task, you're at your desk on time, yeah, you adhere to the rules and the regulations that have been set aside, it helps the company therefore to move smoothly. Yeah, there's a smooth flow of how things are run in an organization. We've got several types of discipline. Yeah, we've got what we call the minor infraction. Yeah, so these are some small issues, not quite major, but some of those small issues that one way or the other they would also be classified as indiscipline. Yeah, so we've got example of minor instances of misconduct would include rough play at work, foul language, salary attachment by court when needed. Yeah, so when we talk about this minor, we're trying to look at it in terms of some of those actions that employees do, yeah, and as a result of doing them, they would lead to this. Yeah, so we've given an example of misconduct. So misconduct is maybe like when you come to work very late, or maybe when you come to work when you're drunk, yeah, etc., or maybe using offensive language while at your workplace. Okay, we also have got a major infraction. Now the major infraction, these are acts which can substantially continue with the major infractions, which we say these are now those cases of discipline which require disciplinary action measures to be taken. Yeah, we won't call them crimes, but there are those scenarios whereby when employees behave in certain manner, disciplinary action needs to be taken against them. That's why we call them major. Okay, yeah, like for example, when somebody refuses to perform their duties, yeah, when somebody fights, yeah, when you lie to a supervisor, etc., this would result in a major infraction. We also have got what we call the intolerable offenses. Yeah, so intolerable offenses refers to indiscipline cases that are usually serious and usually require severe disciplinary actions when they occur. Okay, what are some of these? Yeah, maybe one of these is like when you abscond duty. Absconding duty means when you choose not to report to work, yeah, with no explanation. Yeah, we also talk about when maybe something like when an employee commits some fraud, yeah, those are what we call the intolerable, yeah, use of drugs, etc. So then, what are some of the causes of discipline? What happens in an organization that prompts or makes employee to become indisciplined? One of it we say is the personality. Yeah, then sometimes people are different. Yeah, people have got different tempers, and sometimes somebody would say there are people who are very, they are very hyped. Yeah, they are not able to manage, or to have self-control. Yeah, we also have got people who feel like they are superior. So it all revolves around the personality. Yeah, sometimes these personality issues can make the employees to become indisciplined. We also talk about intelligence and knowledge. So we'll talk about these. So a person with low mental faculties is unlikely to calculate the consequences of this behavior. However, they lack the ability to understand why certain actions are expected or rejected by the organization. So what these people would do, they would work in such a way and find themselves at variance with the authority, the level of their education perhaps, yeah, or their level of thinking. This can affect an individual, and by so doing, this individual would always look like they are rebellious because they don't understand why some things are done. Okay, then of course we talk about job maladjustment. Yeah, so we say sometimes indiscipline might arise because the employee is placed on the wrong job or in an appropriate position in the hierarchy. Yeah, you got a job, but the kind of a job that you're doing is not something that you like, or it's not something that you've been trained on. So meanwhile, you're given the responsibility to perform certain duties. So what happens is you're doing it because you have to do it. Otherwise, it's not because it is something that you love doing. So you always find yourself having issues with indiscipline because you're not satisfied. Yeah, then of course you got then some causes is what we call inappropriate rules, communication, supervision, etc. Yeah, so we're just trying to understand what discipline is. Yeah, the types of discipline that we have. Yeah, the causes of this indiscipline, and now we are going to talk about the principles. Yeah, now the principles of discipline are what we need to, or the corrective measures that we need to adapt to so that we don't have indiscipline issues. So what are some of the things that we need to do is to have a positive and negative discipline. Yeah, so whenever possible, disciplinary measures must have a positive base. This is achieved when management creates an atmosphere in which an employee willingly concede to rules and procedures. So what they're trying to tell us is one of the principles is what we call positive and negative. Yeah, when we refer to this, they're only trying to say an organization should come up with rules and regulations that are conducive to the atmosphere which the employee is working. So don't bring out rules and regulations that would not improve on an individual performance. Yeah, the other thing is involvement. So where possible, rules and regulations should be formulated with the collaboration of representatives of those affected. When an organization is coming up with rules, they should involve the parties concerned. Yeah, if it is a representative, it's a union, so that the employees are engrossed in it. Then we talk about review, where we say these rules and regulations should be reviewed often. Don't just say these are our rules, adjust them with time. We also say that we need to be fair. When you're also handling disciplinary cases, it is important for us to be fair. Fair in terms of listening to both parties and also having having some level of consistency. These rules should not just apply to this particular group. They're supposed to apply across the board. We also talk about communication, which we say communication should be whatever information that needs to be done should either be done in writing. Sometimes you cannot afford to keep giving people verbal disciplinary warnings. Yeah, it is important for you to put up some of these things in writing. Yeah, so the principles are basically many. Yeah, then also we mentioned about the application of disciplinary measures. What do you need to do? Talk about the informal warning. Yeah, the informal warning is where this is now revolve around the minor disciplinary issues, where you just give a verbal warning. We've got a formal warning now. A formal warning is written. Yeah, it is a written document. We also talk about transfer or suspension. Yeah, we also mentioned about the dismissal. So dismissal is whereby now when the person has been heard, yeah, they've been told to explain the reasons under which they were able to behave in a certain manner. Yeah, so the same people, the HR perhaps would come back and advise that with this kind of a scenario, perhaps the best thing would be a dismissal. Now, dismissal is now where your services are terminated. Yeah. So why are we telling you all this? We're telling you all this because we want you to become good employees, yeah, even for those some of us who are not working, when you get an opportunity to work, you need to work in such a manner that you already have a clue of what discipline is. So it is important for us to adjust accordingly, yeah. And for some of us who are already working, yeah, this is a skill that will help you to manage your yourself well or effectively in your organization. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity to wish you a very good day. Thank you.